Okay, so let's talk about The Dark Knight. Now, this is going to be hard for a lot of you to hear, and I know this is going to be painful for some of you, but The Dark Knight, as a matter of fact, is actually a little overrated. Yeah, I know. It's hard to hear, and I can hear you already. You're like, no way. Here's the thing. It's a good movie, but if you take away the performance of Heath Ledger, which is landmark, it's not a landmark film. It's a good movie, but it's not a great movie. And it actually has some problems that never really get noted. And part of the reason why it has problems that never get noted and is considered such a classic and such a landmark film has a lot to do with Heath Ledger's performance. Now, let's be crystal clear about this. That performance is spectacular. That is easily one of the top 10 movie performances of that decade. Easily. And it stands out. I mean, it stands out from the entire movie. It's like beamed in from a different place. It's almost freakishly good. It's like channeling something from another dimension. It's so good that I would argue it elevates the entire film into landmark status when the rest of the film actually has some problems. Now, the rest of the movie is pretty good, but let's take, for example, the ending. The logic of the ending is a little bit absurd. Batman has to frame himself because I guess for some reason the people won't be able to handle it if Harvey Dent is, a bad guy. And how does this even make sense? It's nonsensical. And nobody seems to notice that it's nonsensical. All anybody has ever given this movie credit for is being absolutely spectacular. And there are flaws in this film. The reason why it's considered as good as it is because Heath Ledger's performance elevates the entire film. Take the sequence where he has to get to both people at the same time. The whole setup for that, if you actually follow it, really doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it's cool and it sort of works in the context of a movie, but again, if it were just being played by an average Joker, it wouldn't work all that well. And he's on the run, and it's such a huge burden of coincidences to get you to the point where the Joker has set the whole thing up. So